What a goddamn wasted opportunity this movie was. So I saw Slender Man last night and, god damn it. Like, okay, what is this movie about? Well, these four girls, they decide to do an urban legend called Slender Man, and they try to summon him. And then a week later, they start getting hauntings from him, thinking like, oh, maybe like that, maybe they're just starting seeing things, and then one of their friends disappears, and now they're thinking, oh, maybe this Slender Man thing is actually real. Now, here's what I like about this movie, is that this is a good idea. This is a very good idea on paper. Like, you have a relatively new urban legend that got started only a few years ago, based on a video game that, you know, has some lore to it and actually like has some real life consequences. Like, there actually is a documentary on these two girls that killed someone else to try to summon Slender Man. That's a real story. But this movie, the problem with this movie, like, here are the major issues with this movie, is that one, there's no character development whatsoever. You don't care about these characters because you don't know anything about them. How do we care about a character and that they disappear or that something happens to them if we don't know anything about them? There is nothing. The only thing I know about these characters is that one runs track and the other one, all the other three, I know their names. That's really it. Other than that, there's nothing. Now, is this movie scary? Kind of. And what I mean by kind of is like the imagery itself. Like there's scary imagery, scary moments. Like there are like actual scary parts to this. But for the most part, it falls into the same tropes that a lot of PG-13 horror movies fall into, and that it relies a lot of jump scares. But, I mean, there are scary parts to this, but really there's not. This movie isn't very scary. And it is boring. This movie is boring. It is hard to make a horror movie boring, but goddamn it, Slender Man found a way. Now, I may sound a little bitter, but I was actually looking forward to this movie. And I don't know if it's the curse of Joey King, because whatever horror movies she's been in lately have been terrible. Last movie she was in was Wish Upon, and that was one of the worst movies of 2017. Like, god damn it. Like, I wanted this movie to be good. The trailer made it look cool. But there's nothing really that happens. There's so many other ways that this movie could have been executed that would have made it better. But there's nothing. And you do see Slender Man. And it's CGI. And it's not very good CGI. Like, oh my god. There's so many things that I could have... and I'm not a film director or a screenwriter, but there's so many things I could have done that were better. And the acting was terrible. The acting was shit. Oh my god. Like, I don't know how to emphasize it. This movie was just a giant waste of time and disappointment. I mean, there's really nothing about it. I mean, I would go into bigger detail, but I would just be reiterating what I said earlier. Like, oh my god. I don't know how else to emphasize this other than just don't go see this movie. Because you have a crazy-ass shark movie to go see, and you have Black Klansman, which is another thing that's based on a true story. I mean, like, here's one thing that like, could have been interesting, is that they could have implemented, like, the real-life, like, murders that those two girls committed trying to summon Slender Man. And here's also a problem that I see is that like a lot of this horror they bring onto themselves. They're the ones that summon Slender Man, so it's kind of hard to like really care for them if they bring it onto themselves. And I know your argument. You can say, oh, well, they did it in The Ring. Well, here's the difference between The Ring and Slender Man. Is The Ring, Naomi Watts' character actually tries to go and see the backstory of whatever is on the videotape. This one, and to kind of find out more about the character Samara. This movie in Slender Man, there's none of that. You know nothing about Slender Man. You know nothing about his motives, where he comes from, or anything. And that needs to be in a movie like this. You need to kind of know the backstory behind what this demon is or what this entity is. It doesn't necessarily have to be a demon. It could just be a being from another dimension. I don't care. Just something. But there's nothing in this movie. So I had to give this movie a 3.5 out of 10. It's not a complete dumpster fire, but Jesus Christ, there's so many things wrong with this movie that I don't know how a sane horror movie fan could really enjoy this. It's so stupid, it's dumb, and it's a waste of time. Alright, thank you everyone for watching my review. If you want to watch my last one, it is over here. If you want to click my face right down below and subscribe, that'd be awesome. I try to upload at least once a week, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!